Regain strong legs in 12 hours with this one food, proven by science. If I told you that one of the fastest ways to recover leg strength, especially if you've been feeling slower, weaker, or more easily fatigued, doesn't come from the gym or a pill but from your own kitchen, what would you picture? Surprisingly, recent research shows that a single food, eaten at the right time and in the right combination, can start revitalizing your neuromuscular performance in as little as 12 hours. Before we start, later in this video, I'll share something we've been working on behind the scenes called the Vital 50 Inner Circle. If staying healthy, active, and connected after 50 matters to you, you'll definitely want to hear about it. But first, let's get into today's topic. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition uncovered something remarkable. By the very next morning, people over 50 who consumed a nutrient-rich evening meal showed measurable improvements in muscle protein synthesis and mitochondrial activity, the body's biological engines for energy recovery and strength. And the first muscles to benefit? The legs, the area most vulnerable to age-related decline. But this isn't just about mobility or appearance. It's about independence, confidence, and the ability to keep doing the things you love. When leg strength fades, everyday life changes, stairs become harder, balance becomes less steady, and energy levels drop. Many people chalk this up to just getting older. But the truth is different. The main drivers of muscle loss aren't the number of birthdays you've had. They're chronic undernourishment at the cellular level, low-grade inflammation, and disrupted circadian rhythms. In other words, it's not your chronological age holding you back. It's your biology. And the good news? Biology can be influenced. By paying attention to what you eat, when you eat it, and how your food interacts with your nervous system and muscles, you can take back control of your strength, starting with one powerful, science-backed food. In this episode, we're diving deep into the neurobiology and physiology behind a single, everyday food that can dramatically improve leg function, especially when you use it strategically. You'll learn exactly what's in this food that, over the course of just one night, can supercharge neuromuscular repair. We'll explore how it restores mitochondrial efficiency, those tiny power plants inside your muscle cells that produce the energy you need to move. You'll also discover the role of amino acid signaling in rebuilding muscle density, and why your circadian clock, your body's internal timing system, determines the best moment to eat it for maximum impact. By the end, you'll have a clear step-by-step plan you can start immediately. And no, this isn't hype, it's science. Here's the first thing to remember. With the right tools, your body can recover far faster than you think. For decades, experts believed that muscle loss with age was simply caused by atrophy, the shrinking of muscle fibers from inactivity or declining hormones. But neuroscience is now revealing a far more hopeful and actionable truth. What researchers have found is eye-opening. In many cases, you haven't truly lost muscle. It's just disconnected. Motor neurons, the nerve cells that carry movement commands from your brain and spinal cord to your muscles, start to degrade in your 40s and beyond. This disconnect is especially common in the legs. When signaling weakens, your muscles don't get the full contract command. They're still there, but they're underperforming. A groundbreaking University of Calgary study confirmed this. Adults with declining leg strength still had the structural muscle tissue, but the neuromuscular signals weren't fully reaching them. That's why you might stand up from a chair and feel a sudden wobble, or notice your legs tire faster than before even without any major lifestyle change. It's not just getting older, it's a breakdown in neuronal connectivity. The good news? This can be repaired. Your spinal cord, the central relay station for movement, plays a key role here. It depends on constant nutrient-driven support to maintain strong, accurate signals. Picture your leg muscles as a skilled construction crew, and your nervous system as the foreman giving instructions through a megaphone. If the megaphone's battery is weak, the crew slows down. But if you recharge that battery with the right nutrients at the right time, the team gets back to full speed. In just a moment, we'll reveal the exact food and timing strategy that can recharge your body's megaphone overnight, restore leg strength, and get your muscles firing again without hours in the gym or expensive supplements. One of the fastest ways to restore leg strength and coordination is by targeting the neuromuscular junction, the critical point where your nerves and muscles connect. This is the communication bridge that tells your muscles when and how to contract. When that connection weakens, even strong muscles can underperform. But here's the good news. With the right nutrients, you can boost this signaling process in just a few hours. Certain amino acids, B vitamins, and acetylcholine precursors can quickly improve the quality of these nerve-to-muscle signals. And there's one food in particular that contains all of these, a powerhouse not just for muscle nourishment, but for reactivating your existing muscle fibers. By eating it, you're not only feeding your muscles, you're waking them back up. Before focusing on building more muscle, it's important to ask a simple question. Is your nervous system even using the muscle you already have? When it comes to leg weakness, signal quality is often more important than muscle quantity. One key nutrient in this food is leucine, an essential amino acid your body cannot produce on its own, meaning you must get it from your diet. But leucine isn't just another protein component. It's a powerful molecular signal that tells your body it's time to grow and repair. In scientific terms, leucine is known as an anabolic trigger. It activates a pathway called mTOR, short for mammalian target of rapamycin. You can think of mTOR as a master control tower for muscle protein synthesis. Without activation, muscle repair and growth slow down. Leucine is like the finger that flips the switch, turning that control tower back on. And this works even in older adults. A landmark study published in the Journal of Nutrition in 2011 found that a single leucine-rich meal could significantly increase mTOR activity and stimulate muscle protein synthesis, even in people whose muscles had become less responsive to growth signals with age. That's important because as we get older, our muscles become more resistant to anabolic signals, meaning normal protein intake doesn't have the same impact it once did. But leucine is one of the few nutrients proven to break through that resistance. Within hours of consuming a leucine-rich meal, your muscles' protein-building machinery can fire back up, even if you've been struggling with weakness or fatigue. So, before you add more weight to your workouts or spend money on complicated supplements, make sure you're giving your neuromuscular system the nutrients it needs to communicate effectively. With the right food at the right time, you can reactivate dormant muscles, restore strength, and feel the difference in your legs surprisingly fast. In a moment, we'll reveal exactly which food delivers this effect and how to use it strategically to see results in as little as half a day. Have you ever felt your legs growing tired or weak, even though you're eating enough protein? The problem might not be the amount of protein you eat, but the quality of leucine in it and the timing of when you consume it. Many older adults unknowingly get just enough protein to prevent further muscle breakdown, but not enough leucine to trigger new muscle growth. That's why both the source and timing of your protein matter. Here's a simple science-backed strategy. Make your first major meal of the day centered around a leucine-rich protein source. Some of the best options are animal proteins like eggs, beef, poultry, and especially whey protein. To activate the mTOR pathway, your body's internal switch for muscle repair, you need only about 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine. That's roughly what you'd get from 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein. But if you want a faster, more efficient option, whey protein isolate is one of the most effective tools available. It delivers leucine and other essential amino acids in the perfect ratio to quickly stimulate muscle recovery. This is why professional athletes and many clinicians working with older adults recommend whey protein isolate. It works fast, and it works well. But this isn't just about rebuilding muscle. It's about reconnecting it. After you consume leucine-rich protein, your body reignites the biochemical conversation between your nervous system and your muscle fibers. The stronger and quicker this dialogue becomes, the faster your legs can feel steady, powerful, and full of life again. In short, the right protein, at the right time, can help restore not just your strength, but your confidence in every step you take. Now that we've talked about the role of leucine in reactivating your muscle-building machinery, let's move to the second vital piece of the equation, acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter that physically orders your muscles to move. And we're going to talk about the simple everyday food that refills it faster than most supplements. Every time you decide to move, whether it's to stand, take a step, or get up from a chair, a signal travels from your brain. But here's the thing, that signal doesn't go straight to your muscles. First, it's converted into acetylcholine, a chemical messenger that delivers the movement order. Acetylcholine is the key player in neuromuscular transmission, the process that turns thought into action. Without enough of it, your muscles won't fire properly. They may react slowly, misfire, or not respond at all. And here's the kicker. Both acetylcholine production and the sensitivity of its receptors decline over time, especially in the motor neurons linked to your legs. That's one reason why small balance lapses, delayed reactions, and slower steps become more common as we age. But here's where it gets exciting. Science shows there's a way to quickly restore this signaling power. The precursor to acetylcholine is choline, and research, including a 2012 review in Nutrients, confirms that boosting choline intake can increase acetylcholine production in as little as 6 to 12 hours, especially when your brain is actively coordinating movement. So where do you get it? The answer is surprisingly simple. Eggs, specifically the yolks. 2 whole eggs can give you over 300 milligrams of choline, which your body then converts into acetylcholine, directly helping restore your motor control pathways. This isn't just general nutrition advice, it's a proven protocol. If you deal with shakiness, unsteadiness, reduced walking power, or legs that seem slow to respond, try this morning routine. Eat 2 whole eggs about 30 minutes after waking up. Pair them with a high leucine protein like whey or cottage cheese. Why morning? Because acetylcholine production naturally dips after sleep, and your motor neurons are especially receptive to nutritional input early in the day. By giving your body choline right when it needs it most, you're recharging your neuromuscular command system at the perfect time. Ever noticed how much more confident and stable you feel walking after a solid, protein-rich breakfast? That's not in your head. That's your central nervous system firing with sharper, faster accuracy. And acetylcholine's benefits go beyond just movement. By restoring this neurotransmitter, you're upgrading the communication channel between your brain and your legs, making every step more controlled and deliberate. Now, if you don't eat eggs, don't worry. While egg yolks have the highest bioavailability, meaning your body can absorb and use the choline more efficiently, there are plant-based sources too. Quinoa, Brussels sprouts, and soybeans all contain choline, though in lower amounts. The key takeaway? Strong legs aren't just about building muscle, they're about reconnecting muscle to mind. And acetylcholine, fueled by choline-rich foods, is the bridge that makes that connection possible. Give your body what it needs in the morning, and you might be surprised at how quickly your steps start to feel steadier, stronger, and more alive. Here's something you might not know. Acetylcholine isn't just about making your muscles move. It also plays a major role in learning, memory, and concentration. That means when you restore healthy levels of acetylcholine in your brain, you're not only improving your physical control, but also sharpening your mental clarity. That's a true double win for aging positively. Now, let's move to another critical piece of the strength puzzle, the relationship between blood flow and leg power. And in a moment, we'll talk about one specific food that's so effective at boosting circulation. It's being studied as a natural therapy for vascular dementia and physical fatigue. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to water a garden with a hose that's kinked. It doesn't matter how rich the soil is or how much sunlight you give the plants. Without proper water flow, they can't thrive. The same thing happens inside your body. As we get older, the arteries and capillaries feeding our lower limbs often become narrower and less responsive. This reduced blood flow doesn't just limit oxygen delivery, it also slows nutrient transport and waste removal, all of which are essential for strong, responsive muscles. The result? Heavy, tired legs that recover slowly and respond sluggishly, even if you're eating well and staying active. The key player in fixing this is nitric oxide, or NO, a natural gas produced in the lining of your blood vessels. Nitric oxide signals those vessels to widen, increasing circulation where it's needed most. And here's where diet comes in. One of the most powerful natural boosters of nitric oxide production is beets. Packed with dietary nitrates, beets fuel your body's ability to generate nitric oxide, improving circulation, oxygen delivery, and ultimately, leg strength. Up next, we'll look at how to use beets strategically so you feel stronger, more energetic, and steadier on your feet. Beets, especially when eaten raw or as juice, are one of nature's most powerful circulation boosters. They're rich in dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, the molecule that tells your blood vessels to open up and deliver more oxygen and nutrients to your muscles. A 2015 study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that older adults who drank beetroot juice experienced a noticeable increase in leg muscle power within just a few hours. The boost was especially strong in fast-twitch fibers, the very fibers that help you keep your balance and prevent falls. These weren't just lab measurements. In real-world movement tests, walking speed, chair stands, even stair climbing, the improvements were measurable and meaningful. Here's a simple way to put this into action. About 90 minutes before any physical activity, eat 1 to 2 medium beets or drink 250 to 300 milliliters of beetroot juice. This window gives your body time to convert the nitrates into nitric oxide, maximizing blood flow when you need it. Want even better results? Pair your beet intake with 20 minutes of light movement, like walking, gentle cycling, or dynamic stretching. Activity itself stimulates nitric oxide production, so when combined with beet nitrates, you're essentially priming the hose and ramping up circulation at the same time. Beets have a modest glycemic load, and the performance benefits far outweigh any mild blood sugar rise when eaten before activity. But if you're concerned about sugar, pair them with a protein source or fiber-rich greens to help stabilize your response. By strategically using beets, you can fuel stronger, more responsive legs and give yourself a real edge in balance, mobility, and daily confidence. In this next part, we're going to talk about one of the most misunderstood drivers of muscle loss, inflammation, and how a single category of food can help extinguish the slow, hidden fire that's quietly reducing your leg strength from the inside out. You might not feel it directly, but it's there, humming away in the background. I'm talking about chronic inflammation. Now, this is not the same as acute inflammation, which is obvious, visible, and happens after an injury. Chronic inflammation is far more subtle. It's systemic, it's low-grade, and it slowly chips away at your muscle function over time, especially in your legs. Research is clear. Even low levels of chronic inflammation can reduce your muscle's ability to regenerate, build strength, and maintain coordination. In a 2020 study published in the Journals of Gerontology, researchers found that higher levels of inflammatory markers, specifically C-reactive protein or CRP, and interleukin-6 or IL-6, were strongly linked to lower muscle mass and strength in older adults. And this held true even when participants seemed to have adequate exercise and nutrition. So what's happening inside your body when this occurs? Inflammation interferes with the mitochondria, the tiny energy factories that power every muscle contraction. It slows muscle protein synthesis, increases oxidative stress, and disrupts mitochondrial function. On top of that, it weakens the nervous system's ability to recruit muscle fibers. That means even if you have the muscle, the signal to activate it is weaker. Here's the twist. One of the most effective anti-inflammatory tools isn't found in the supplement aisle. It's in your produce drawer. I'm talking about dark leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula, Swiss chard, mustard greens. Not only are they packed with vitamins and minerals, but they're also loaded with compounds proven to calm inflammation. Polyphenols, chlorophyll, magnesium, and nitrate compounds. One standout polyphenol is quercetin, found in high amounts in kale and mustard greens. Studies, including a 2019 paper in Frontiers in Pharmacology, show that quercetin can directly block inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha. Daily intake of quercetin-rich foods, especially combined with moderate exercise, has been shown to lower inflammation markers in just 2 to 4 weeks. A simple science-backed habit is to include at least 1 cup of dark, leafy greens in your very first meal of the day. Why the first meal? Because it helps set the tone for inflammation regulation throughout your circadian rhythm, your internal clock that governs immune and hormonal responses. For maximum benefit, pair those greens with a healthy fat like olive oil, avocado, or a handful of nuts. This boosts the absorption of fat-soluble antioxidants such as vitamin K and beta-carotene. You can also add a squeeze of lemon or a splash of apple cider vinegar to enhance digestion and nutrient uptake. Now, it's important to understand, these foods don't work like painkillers. You won't take a bite of spinach and suddenly feel like Superman. Instead, the benefits are gradual but powerful. Within 10 to 14 days, you may notice less stiffness, faster recovery, steadier energy, and a renewed sense of strength in your legs. That's because you're doing more than feeding your muscles. You're sending a signal to your body. You're telling your immune system, we're safe. You can turn down the inflammation dial. Over time, this shift allows your muscles, mitochondria, and nervous system to work at their best, keeping your legs stronger, your movements steadier, and your independence intact. So remember, the battle against chronic inflammation isn't won in a pill bottle. It starts on your plate, 1 forkful of leafy greens at a time. In this next section, we're going to cover something most people never even think about: how the timing of your meals can either accelerate or slow down the restoration of your muscles and leg strength as you age. You already know that what you eat matters, but when you eat can be just as important, especially for keeping your legs strong in later years. Here's why. Every time you eat a meal that contains protein, you trigger a process called muscle protein synthesis, or MPS. This is your body's way of repairing damaged muscle tissue and building new muscle. In simple terms, your body is saying, "Let's grow." The challenge? As we age, the strength of that signal weakens due to something called anabolic resistance. This means your muscles become less responsive to the protein you consume. So even if you're eating plenty of protein overall, your body may not be making full use of it to repair and strengthen muscle. The solution lies in how you space out your protein intake. Research shows that muscle preservation and growth, especially in the legs, can be significantly improved by distributing protein-rich meals evenly across the day, starting with breakfast. A landmark 2014 study from the University of Texas found that older adults who consumed roughly equal amounts of protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner had 25% higher muscle protein synthesis rates than those who packed most of their protein into dinner. The takeaway? Don't save all your protein for the evening. Give your muscles multiple growth signals throughout the day. A protein-rich breakfast isn't just fuel, it's the first step in rebuilding and maintaining the leg strength that keeps you active, balanced, and independent for years to come. So, if you found today's tips helpful, and you're someone who wants a bit more support, not just videos like this, but real guidance, motivation, and a place to connect, then I'd love to invite you to check out something we've built called the Vital 50 Inner Circle. It's a private community for folks over 50 where we share easy workout routines, healthy, simple recipes, wellness tips, weekly inspiration, live calls with a personal trainer, and a place to connect with others on the same path. It's not for everyone, but if you're ready to take your health seriously and want to feel your best in this next chapter, tap the link below to see what it's all about. Hope to see you in there.